This is Alexandre with Nansen.
Mic or at all? Yeah? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so this time we will give you some alpha from the trading side. So who is trading crypto here? Yeah? Like, are you more like DeFi kind of traders? Are you like yield farming? Or are you more trading NFTs or tokens? NFTs, yeah? Okay, so anything, okay, cool. So what Nansen is about is like we're a multi-chain, on-chain data analytics platform. So what we do in layer 0 is we collect all the data from the different ecosystems and we kind of structure it. So here right now we have like Ethereum, Polygon, Phantom, BSC, and Caillol. Soon we will have Avalanche, Optimism, Arbitrum, etc., and Solana as well in Q1. Once we collect this data, what we do is we label all the addresses. So you see, if you go to Etherscan, for example, you'll see these hashes here. What we do is we give meaning to these addresses. So at the hot contract level, but also at the wallet level. So here, for example, we can easily see which pools are pumping right now, which pools are super active, and which pools are receiving some of our smart money investors' money. So what we call smart money is, again, instead of having hashes for addresses, here we will kind of label all the market participants. So you know if it's a smart liquidity provider. Again, I can show you a little bit the different segments for our smart money segments. So we can look at the funds, so Alameda Research, Genesis Trading, etc. You can kind of follow all the trades. But you can also look at the smart liquidity providers. So these are actually market participants who are actually making money in a DeFi world. So you remove all the noise of all the transaction and you can focus on people who are making money and kind of follow their trades. So our users who are investing in yield farming, they will look at the new contracts that are coming up, the new liquidity pools, for example, and to make sure that they're not investing in something that will be rug pulled at some point and lose a lot of money, they look at the market participants in the smart contract. But here, for example, in our smart money segment, we can look at the latest token transfers between the different market participants. We can see that Axie and Infinity is kind of actually Alameda has bought some Axie Infinity, so that's a super bullish sign, right? Alameda Research is a big investment fund, and these guys are here to make money. So here they bought some Axie Infinity, so that's super interesting here. And they bought some AXS token, the new token. So here we can see Wintermute as well. It's kind of automated market makers, so we can see where they're moving here. We can see where's the top volume traded on different tokens, different pairs. But as I see that today is more like an NFT crowd, I will stop kind of the DeFi presentation, and I will go straight into our NFT section. So here is the same idea, right? So today, actually, we can see this wizard and dragon games. So here what we see in the 24 market overview is we see all the different collections that are trading today. We can see the total market cap. So if we sort by market cap, CryptoPunks are still like in the first place, but the Bored Yacht Club are kind of catching up. But if we look at the volume trading in the last 24 hours, we can see Axie. Generally, Axie is always the first one here, but we can see this wizard and dragon game has been pumping a lot today. And this is, from what I understand, again, it's like it's been minting just for 19 hours, but these guys are taking the lead here in the volume traded today. So it might be super interesting to have a look at what's happening. But here you can see a little bit the profit leaderboard. So our labels allows us to kind of apply, either we find the individuals behind a wallet. So in that case, Pranksy here is very public about the items he purchases. So when it say on Twitter, hey, I bought this item, we kind of know that this wallet, it belongs to him. So we can actually name the wallet here. And you can see we calculate his total profit. So this guy, Pranksy, is very prolific on the NFT market. He knows how to buy in the right collection and to flip them at the right time. And we can see the amount of money he made flipping NFTs here. So if we want, we can just like drill into his portfolio. And I'll go back to this new collection here. But here, Pranksy, we can see is the size of his portfolio here. We have an indication of the liquidity risk in his portfolio. So this is another indicator we calculate for the different NFT items. But we can see all his transactions. And actually here, he generated transaction like quite high. He bought an ETH address, 925.eth, at 333 ETH here. So it's kind of dwarfing all his activity here. But we can see his portfolio. So he owns a lot of sandbox, and that's actually the highest value in his portfolio. We can see the indication of the liquidity risk of this collection. But he owns a lot of Water Woman. Now let's see how he performed through times, right? He made 4,000 ETH in realized profits. And we can see where he made his profit. So mainly in a Bored Ape Yacht Club. That's how he kind of like built his kind of war chest. But then Water Woman was a very successful collection for him, etc. And we can see that these Lost Poets, right? You see on this one how much he realized as gains. So he made a lot of money there. And he sold only 5% of his collection, right? And he made 51 ETH just selling 5%. Of what he minted or he purchased, and he kind of is holding that. So that would be super interesting actually to follow his movements from this collection. So if you have some Lost Poets and you wonder when to sell, it might be smart to create a smart alert here under his name. So here, for example, I created an alert on the Pranksy mints just to check out on which collection he's getting in. And that leads us to actually going back to this collection that we saw minting just 19 hours ago. So here it might be interesting to have a look at this. So what I show you here on the collection, actually you can see the same thing on at a token level as well. So see the market participants and who's getting in and out. So again, 19 hours ago deployed, already 15K NFTs in circulation. This is actually a game. I checked it out a bit earlier. We can see the volume is kind of, and the price, the average price here of the collection is kind of super active. And here we can see what's happening here. So generally this line here is the minting with kind of the gas prices. And here we can see the secondary activities already. The same way as we define the labels of the market participant in the DeFi world, we're actually making money, yield farming, and investing in hot contracts. Here we can see who are the smart NFT buyers, people who are actually making money flipping it. And we can see a lot of them are actually investing in its collection. So that might be worth checking what's happening here. So we can see who is owning this. So let's have a look at the market participants here. So we can see this address here. We haven't labeled it yet, but here we can see already some behavioral labels, so kind of rare NFT collector, medium dex traders. You can check, actually, if you go and test the platform, you can check all the definition of these wallets. But here, this address is probably a depository address for the collection itself, right? So they kind of like purchasing it and then resell it on the secondary market. But here is who owns that. And here we can see some market participant owning like a few of those. It will be interesting to see what is this this collection, so we can go and check it out on OpenSea directly. And this is probably a nice little game. So if you're big on Axie, it might be worth looking at this one, right? If you have a bit of money to put in, why not checking that one out? And okay, fun characters. There must be a game behind. I'm not familiar with that. But at least I know that from the activity of the market participants, that might be interesting here. And if I go and see the trades, so who is buying that? Yeah, Pranksy is here. And he got some of this, like, and some medium dex trader. So this is just like another label. But he's buying a lot. So might be interesting, guys. Not financial advice. Again, we can check, see like this is like the real time like minting of all this collection. But if I go back to my NFT paradise here, I can see what other collections are actually coming in. And maybe I will leave it there. I think that's my time, guys. I don't know. Do I have 10 minutes? Do I have a bit more? 2 minutes? Awesome. Okay, so here, now we're looking at the collection that are still minting. So here the FOMO level is actually an indicator of the number of, actually I can show you the description if you want, but that's an indication of like the activity of the minting here. So the High Giraffe Academy, okay, there's a lot of minting currently, but this collection has been released like 6 days ago, so that might be interesting to see what's happening and if some smart investors are moving in for one reason or another. I mean, let's check these guys out first. That's kind of my bullshit check first. Okay, they're pretty cool. I can see my profile pic with a giraffe. Okay, that's it. I've done enough research on that. It's good. Let's have a look at who is getting in that. Okay, individual transaction. They're still like minting, like it's really low, really low. But I like to see who is getting in that. So maybe while this is loading, I mean, after all, it's just like a pretty JPEG, but I can show you also some of the projects we run with some of the ecosystems. So on Axie Infinity, for example, this is always interesting to, I was in Zurich a few weeks ago talking to wealth managers, and I showed them like the furry animals and how to breed them. And then I showed them this kind of report to show them that it's a $1.2 billion project. So from furry animals, we can see a little bit the ecosystem and how Axie Infinity is making money. So here, the Ronin ecosystem came to see us, and they wanted us to build some nice reports, and they delivered us some of their data, and then we can show a bit the community, our community of users. Oh, Ronin is making money, Axie is making money, the Axies that are stakes in US dollars, etc. I'm going to be kicked out, guys.
No, I have a question for you, so don't worry. Unless anyone in the audience has any questions?
Oh, it's called Nansen, Nansen.ai.
And then is it subscription-based or is it just open?
Yeah, it's subscription-based. There's different tiers, but it starts at $150 per month. Yeah.
For a newbie like me, what platform you already said it, but what level should you recommend for somebody?
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
For a newbie like you, yeah. I mean, if you're looking for tokens to invest, we didn't touch on that, but you can look at our token god mode here, which will give you an idea of what's happening on one token. And so you might not want to yield farm or do like some complex stuff in decentralized finance, but you might want to understand what's happening on a token, where's the liquidity, in which exchange can I buy, who is investing in a token. If the investment funds are moving into a project, you can get alerted with that, and you will know when to time your entry on a token. So that could be a good start. And then if you're interested in funny, in beautiful JPEGs or giraffes, the NFT God mode is pretty cool because you can see which collections are coming in and which are actually invested by serious investors. Yeah. No problem.
That was a great question. That was my question, too. So does anyone else in the audience have any questions? Yep.
So we have an API, different levels, right? So everything you can see in a platform, you can access that. I mentioned at the beginning that we were integrating ecosystems, so like Polygon, Phantom, BSC, Solana, etc. So we structure this data, right? Because every chain has a different format. So we kind of structure it to build the pretty reports, but also to deliver this data in one structured file. to systematic hedge funds, for example, yeah, or other ecosystems.
That was my question as well, the ability to access the API. Is it a RESTful API or streaming?
So it could be both. Yeah, tell us what you need and we'll sort you out. Yeah. So if you're interested in this API or accessing the subscription for your team, just email at institutional@nansen.ai, nansen.ai, and then we'll pick it up. Or otherwise, we have a booth downstairs, almost at the entrance. Yeah.
Another question was over here, I believe. No.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So those were great questions, by the way. They took all mine. So my last question then is for you personally. Why did you align yourself with this project? Why is it important to have projects like you have? And ultimately, in summary, what is the value that these projects are bringing to people in this space?
I mean, so personally, I come from traditional finance. I was working in fintech my whole career. I was working at Bloomberg and FactSet. I don't know if some of you know these guys. But this is basically, we're building the Bloomberg of crypto. So ought to give more transparency. I mean, you know, like all the data is available publicly on blockchain, but how do you bring kind of meaning to that? Mm-hmm. The same way as like when you build a full self-driving algorithm, AI, you need to train your AI, you need to label things. Okay, this is a dog, this is a red light sign, this is like a stop sign, etc. So here we are labeling the wallets, the market participants. Instead of looking at hash addresses, you just understand who is that person behind this trade. So we're just bringing meaning to on-chain data analytics.
One more time, how can we participate and support your project? How can we be a part of it?
I mean, we have an awesome. I mean, first go to YouTube, to our Nansen YouTube channel, and you will see the office hour video where our CEO is kind of. It's kind of like having a conversation with a guest, and he's showing how he's using the platform to actually find alpha. So this is like a good place to start because you understand how to use the platform. And then when you join the community, if you have any questions, our users are pretty close-knit, you know, like they're pretty cool. So if you have any question, everybody can answer that, and then I help you out getting in DeFi and getting like the NFT world. I mean, as you know, the blockchain world is like super collaborative, and yeah, we're glad to have this community as well. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to have you on this stage, giving us true and valuable alpha. So thank you for your time up here.
Thank you.
Give him a round.